At Thermopylae, when told the Persians' arrows would blot out the sun, one Spartan laughed. Okay, so the year is 480 BCE, and the Spartans are having a pretty bad week. Their allies are getting utterly demolished all over Greece. And now, this massive Persian army led by Xerxes himself is coming through the hot gates of Thermopylae, determined to crush any remaining hope of a Greek victory at sea. Now, Thermopylae is a narrow mountain pass, and the Spartans only have about 300 men to defend it, along with a few hundred more Thespians and Thebans. Against an army that numbers somewhere between 50 and 70,000 men, the Spartans are vastly outnumbered. But they've got some tricks up their red, bare asses. The first thing the Spartans do is set up their shield wall. You know, that iconic image of the guys holding their big old shields in front of them, right? Yeah, that's pretty much what they do. These are some seriously big shields, too. We're talking 7 2 feet by 3 2 feet. It would take 2 normal human hands to carry one. So these guys either had some serious upper body strength or, more likely, they had some serious carpentry skills. Anyway, while the Spartans are setting up their defenses, a Persian general named Autophrodates sends a letter to the Spartan king Leonidas, demanding that he surrender and promising him riches and honors if he does. Leonidas, ever the badass, responds by having the letter read aloud to his troops and then throws it into the fire. That's pretty much how you know these guys are Spartans. If a messenger arrives bearing a demand from your enemy, the correct response is not, "What did they say?" It's, "Fuck them." Then burn the messenger alive. Or at least that's what Sparta was doing back in 480 BCE. But the Spartans aren't just mindless killing machines. They've got a plan here. They know that if they can hold off the Persians long enough, the rest of the Greek army will be able to regroup and mount a real defense. But they also know that the Persians outnumber them 10 to 1. So they figure they might as well make a show of their military prowess before they die. And what better way to do that than by burning some effigies of Xerxes and his generals and sending them down the mountain with messages attached to them? This is straight-up psychological warfare, like they're trying to mess with the Persians' heads. And it totally works. According to Herodotus, when the Persians received the effigies, they thought it was a sign of impending doom, and were so frightened that they considered retreating. Now, maybe this is just a story Herodotus made up because he really liked the Spartans, or maybe he was just a fan of the movie 300. But according to his account, one Spartan soldier even quipped, "Well, now we know where the immortals are camping. It's lucky we didn't attack them during the night." Immortals, by the way, was the name of Xerxes' elite guard. So, after sending the effigies down the mountain, the Spartans settle in for a little siege. The Persians attack in waves, but they don't get very far. After all, the Spartans are the best fighters in the world, and they've got those massive shields. Plus, they've got their special trick, which is called a phalanx. Basically, the Spartans stand shoulder to shoulder in a tight formation and thrust their spears forward in unison. This makes a wall of spears that's nearly impenetrable. But after 2 days of fighting, someone tells the Persians there's a secret path around the mountain, and when the Spartans heard this, they were pretty pissed. Not because someone had betrayed them, but because they hadn't gotten the memo. Because you know what happens to be at the top of the mountain? A bunch of really tall trees. So the Spartans abandon their post and go hide in the woods. Except, they're wearing these big old helmets with these big old plumes on them, which are designed to intimidate their enemies. So when the Persians come up the mountain, they see all these plumes bobbing around in the trees and think, "Oh, hey, look, it's a bunch of birds, cool." And they keep on walking. But then some Thespians stationed at the rear of the column spot a Persian scout and raise the alarm. So the Spartans come out of the woods and prepare for another day of fighting. Except this time, they've got a secret weapon. You ready for it? Drums. Yeah, the Spartans start beating the crap out of their drums, trying to intimidate the Persians. And it works. For a while, the Persians are so freaked out that they refuse to attack. But eventually, they get over it and decide to charge anyway. And this time, they get pretty far. In fact, they get all the way to the end of the Spartan line before they finally buckle and retreat. But then, the next day, they come back with even more men, and the Spartans have to do it all over again. And again, and again, and again. And you might be wondering why the Spartans didn't just kill the messenger who told them about the secret path and put an end to this whole charade. Well, actually, they did. But before that happened, the traitorous guide took the long way around and showed up just in time to watch the Spartans die valiantly in battle. And you know what happened next? Total devastation. The Persians crushed the Greeks. The Spartans may have been the best fighters in the world, but there were just too many Persians. So that's why when Leonidas learned that the messenger had betrayed them, he supposedly asked, "Was he alone?" When his men told him no, he just smiled and said, "Then we will fight in the shade." And that's pretty much what happened. The Spartans fought until every single one of them was dead. Their sacrifice bought the rest of the Greek army time to regroup and eventually win the war. But if you want to hear more about the Persians, give a big thumbs up and subscribe for more secret history files.